Sūtra of Immeasurable Meaning, translated from Sanskrit into Chinese in the Xiao Qi Dynasty by the Tripiṭaka master Dharmagatayaśas. Homage to all past, future, and present Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Pachika Buddhas, and Shravakas. Chapter 1. The Virtuous Actions. Thus I have heard, at one time, the Buddha was staying on the Gridakutta mountain near the city of Rajagriha, together with 12,000 great bhikshus and 80,000 bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, as well as gods, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, and mahoragas. Also present were bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, as well as great wheel-turning kings and lesser wheel-turning kings, such as gold wheel-turning kings and silver wheel-turning kings, as well as kings, princes, state ministers, citizens, men, women, and elders, surrounded by their retinues in the billions. They all came to the Buddha, bowed their heads down at his feet, and circled him 100,000 times. They burned incense, scattered flowers, and presented various kinds of offerings. Having made their offerings to the Buddha, they stepped back and sat on one side. Among the 80,000 bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, were Manjusri, the Dharma Prince, Great Awesome Virtue Store, the Dharma Prince, Carefree Store, the Dharma Prince, Great Eloquence Store, the Dharma Prince, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Guiding Leader Bodhisattva, Medicine King Bodhisattva, Medicine Superior Bodhisattva, Flower Banner Bodhisattva, Flower Radiance Banner Bodhisattva, Dharani Sovereign King Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, Great Might Arrived Bodhisattva, Persistent Energetic Progress Bodhisattva, Jewel Seal Hand Bodhisattva, Treasure Pile Bodhisattva, Jewel Staff Bodhisattva, Beyond the Three Realms Bodhisattva, Vimalabhadra Bodhisattva, Fragrant Elephant Bodhisattva, Great Fragrant Elephant Bodhisattva, Lion's Roar King Bodhisattva, Lion Frolic World Bodhisattva, Lion Vigor Bodhisattva, Lion Advance Bodhisattva, Valiant Force Bodhisattva, Lion Fierce Subjugation Bodhisattva, Magnificence Bodhisattva, and Great Magnificence Bodhisattva. All of these bodhisattva mahasattvas are great ones who have realized their Dharma body through perfecting its 5 aspects: precepts, samadhi, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and views of liberation. Their minds, silent and meditative, are constantly in samadhi, peaceful, reserved, asanskrita, and free from desire. Inverted thoughts and perceptions no longer arise. Silent, lucid, profound, and vast, their minds can remain still for 100,000 koti kalpas, as innumerable Dharma doors are all present before them. Having unfolded great wisdom and penetrated all dharmas, they understand the true reality of dharmas, which, differentiated by their natures and appearances, clearly manifest as existence or non-existence, long or short. Moreover, they are adept in identifying the capacities, natures, and desires of sentient beings. Equipped with dharanis and unimpeded eloquence, they always request Buddhas to turn the Dharma wheel. Likewise, they are also able to turn it. They first dampen the dust of desire with drizzling drops of teachings, as they open the door to nirvana and fan the wind of liberation. They turn the heat of the afflictions of the world into the coolness of the Dharma. They next rain down the profound principle of the 12 links of dependent arising upon the blazing, glowing sunlight of suffering that runs from ignorance to old age, illness, and death. Then they cascade a downpour of unexcelled Mahayana teachings to water the roots of goodness of sentient beings in the 3 realms of existence. They scatter the seeds of goodness everywhere in merit fields, enabling all to germinate Bodhi sprouts. With their wisdom like the sun and the moon, using skillful means and timing, they promote and expand the mission of the Mahayana, enabling sentient beings to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly and to abide in bliss and inconceivable true reality. As these bodhisattvas, mahasattvas rescue long-suffering sentient beings with immeasurable great compassion, they are their true beneficent learned friends, their great fortune fields, and their unasked teachers. For sentient beings, they serve as sanctuaries of peace and joy, and as places of rescue, protection, and great reliance. In every way, they are the great guiding teachers to sentient beings. They can be the eye for those who are born blind, and be the ear, nose, and tongue for those who are deaf, unable to smell, and mute. They can complete those who are incomplete in their faculties, and can make the deranged think straight. Like the captain, the great captain of a ship, they carry sentient beings across the river of birth and death to the shore of nirvana. Like the medicine king, the great medicine king, they differentiate the symptoms of diseases, know the properties of medicines, dispense medicines according to the diseases, and make patients enjoy taking them. Like the animal trainer who can train elephants and horses without fail, they, the tamers, the great tamers, always refrain from unrestrained actions. Like the brave, fierce lion that subdues all animals, totally undefeatable, they playfully practice the bodhisattva paramitas, unshakably resolved to attain the Tathagata ground. They rely on the power of their vows to purify Buddha lands. Before long, they will attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. These bodhisattva mahasattvas all have such inconceivable merits as described. Among the 12,000 bhikshus were Shariputra, the great wisdom, Moggallana, the transcendental power, Subhuti, the wisdom life, Mahakatyayana, Purna, Maitrayani's son, Achnata Kundanya, Aniruddha, the god eye, Upali, the upholder of the veneer, Ananda, the Buddha's attendant, Rahula, the Buddha's son, Upananda, Revata, Kapina, Vakula, Mahamoggalayana, Swagata, Mahakashapa, the foremost in Dutta training, Uruvilva Kashyapa, Gaya Kashyapa, and Nadi Kashyapa. All of them were arhats who, having ended their afflictions and the discharges thereof, were free from bondage and truly liberated. At that time, great magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattva, seeing the multitude settled calmly, together with the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas in the assembly, rose from his seat and came to the Buddha. They bowed their heads down at the feet of the Buddha and circled him 100,000 times as an offering to the Buddha. Celestial incense, smoke, flowers, garments, necklaces, and priceless jewels fell spiraling down from the sky and gathered around like clouds. Celestial serving dishes and bowls were filled with delicacies of 100 celestial flavors, gratifying all with their colors and aromas. Placed everywhere were celestial banners, flags, and canopies, as well as wonderful musical instruments, playing celestial music to entertain the Buddha. Before the Buddha, they joined their palms and knelt on their right knees. With one mind and one voice, they presented their tribute in verse.
Sublime is the Holy Lord, the Great Enlightened One, with no taint, no defilement, and no attachment. He is the tamer of gods and men, as well as of elephants and horses. The influence of his way and the fragrance of his virtue permeate everywhere. His wisdom is peaceful, his emotions serene, and his cares at rest. His mental faculty and mental consciousness are still, and his mind silent. Having forever ceased dreaming, thinking, perception, and rumination, he no longer takes as real the 6 domains, the 5 aggregates, the 18 spheres, and the 12 fields. Born from neither causes nor conditions, neither self nor others, his Dharma body is neither existent nor non-existent, neither square nor round, neither long nor short, neither appearing nor disappearing, with neither birth nor death, neither constructed nor arisen, neither made nor formed, neither sitting nor lying, neither walking nor standing still, neither moving nor turning, neither noisy nor tranquil, neither advancing nor retreating, neither safe nor perilous, neither right nor wrong, neither gaining nor losing, neither this nor that, neither coming nor going, neither blue nor yellow, neither red nor white, neither scarlet nor purple, nor in a variety of colors. It is realized through achieving its 5 aspects, precepts, samadhi, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and views of liberation. Accomplished are the 3 clarities, the 6 transcendental powers, and the 37 elements of Bodhi. Arisen are loving kindness, compassion, the 10 powers, and the 4 fearlessnesses. In response to the good karmic conditions of sentient beings, he has appeared in a body 10 feet and 6 inches tall, purple-tinged golden, resplendent, radiant, and well-proportioned. The white hair between his eyebrows curls like the new moon, and his halo is like sunlight. His curling hair is dark blue, and a fleshy mound is on his crown. His clear eyes are bright, gently looking up and down. His eyebrows and eyelashes are dark blue, and his mouth and cheeks well formed. His lips and tongue are red, like a crimson flower. His 40 teeth are white like snow. His forehead is broad, his nose straight, and his face open. On his lion's chest is the symbol of a swastika. His palms and soles are soft, marked with 1,000 spokes. His armpits are not hollow. His fingers are webbed. His arms are long, and his fingers straight and slender. His skin is fine and soft, with hair curling to the right. His ankles and knees are not bony, and his male organ is hidden like that of a horse. Fine muscles wrap his leg bones, like those of a deer king. His body is radiant, pure and fresh, like a lotus flower, untouched by water and untainted by dirt. His 32 physical marks and 80 excellent characteristics seem to be visible. In true reality, there is neither form nor appearance, because appearances before the eye are empty. As the appearance of no appearance is manifested as his body, in the same way it is manifested as the bodies of sentient beings. His appearance enables sentient beings to make obeisance joyfully, and to pay their respects sincerely and earnestly. By discarding self-elevation and self-arrogance, he has acquired such a wonderful body.
All of us, together, 80,000 in this multitude, make obeisance to and take refuge in the Holy One, who, without attachment, has skillfully transformed his thinking, perception, mind, mental faculty, and mental consciousness, as well as tamed elephants and horses. We bow down to take refuge in the physical form of his Dharma body, a combination of precepts, samadhi, wisdom, liberation, and the knowledge and views of liberation. We bow down to take refuge in the appearance of the wondrous being. We bow down to take refuge in the inconceivable one. His Brahma tone thunders in 8 ways, wondrous, pure, and far-reaching, announcing the 4 noble truths, the 6 paramitas, and the 12 links of dependent arising. According to the mind karmas of sentient beings, none of the hearers will fail to open his mind and to shatter the bondage of his immeasurable cycles of birth and death. Some voice hearers become sotapannas, sadagagamis, anagamis, or arahants. Some become pacheka Buddhas, free from afflictions and attachment to Samskrita dharmas. Some realize the no birth and no death of dharmas and ascend to the bodhisattva grounds. Some acquire innumerable dharanis and delight in expounding the Dharma with great eloquence. They pronounce profound wondrous stanzas, playing and bathing in the pure lake of the Dharma. Some display transcendental powers as they jump up and fly, or freely go in and out of water or fire. Such are the manifestations of the Dharma will, pure, boundless, and inconceivable.
Again, we all bow down together to take refuge in the Dharma wheel that turns at the right time. We all bow down to take refuge in the Brahma tones. We all bow down to take refuge in the principle of dependent arising, the 4 noble truths, and the 6 paramitas. For innumerable kalpas in the past, the world-honored one arduously trained in virtuous actions. For himself, human, gods, dragons, spirits, kings, and all other sentient beings. He was able to abandon all that was hard to abandon, such as wife, children, riches, throne, and kingdom, never begrudging dharmas, internal or external. He gave others his head, eyes, bone marrow, and brain, observing the pure precepts of Buddhas. He never caused any harm, even to save his life. He never became angry when struck by knives or clubs, or attacked by insults and abusive words. For Kalpas, he was never tired or indolent in his endeavor. Day and night, he has kept his mind in meditation. Having learned all the ways in the Dharma, he can penetrate the capacity of sentient beings with his wisdom. Hence, he has now achieved commanding power, becoming the Dharma king in command of Dharmas. We all bow down together to take refuge, so that we can endeavor to do what is hard to do.
Chapter 2. Expounding the Dharma. Great Magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, having finished the stanza in praise of the Buddha, asked the Buddha, "Well-honored one, all of us 80,000 Bodhisattvas now would like to ask about the Dharma of the Tathagata. We do not know whether the well-honored one will grant us permission." The Buddha told Great Magnificence Bodhisattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattvas, very good, good men. You best know that this is the right time. You may ask any questions. Before long, the Tathagata will enter parinirvana, and there should be no doubts remaining after my parinirvana. You may ask me any questions you wish. Then Great Magnificence Bodhisattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattvas asked the Buddha with one voice, "Well-honored one, if Bodhisattva Mahasattvas wish to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly, through what Dharma door should they train? What Dharma door will enable Bodhisattva Mahasattvas to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly?" The Buddha replied to Great Magnificence Bodhisattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattvas, "Good men, there is one Dharma door through which Bodhisattvas can attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly. If they are Bodhisattvas who learn this Dharma door, they can attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly." Well-honored one, what is this Dharma door called? What is its meaning? How should Bodhisattvas train themselves? The Buddha replied, "Good men, this one Dharma door is called immeasurable meaning. Bodhisattvas who wish to study and learn the immeasurable meaning should observe that dharmas have always been empty in nature and in appearance, with neither birth nor death. Dharmas are neither large nor small, neither moving nor standing still, neither advancing nor retreating. Like space, they are non-dual. However, sentient beings mistakenly calculate this versus that, gain versus loss. They elicit bad thoughts, do evil karmas, and hence transmigrate through the 6 life journeys, undergoing dreadful suffering. For innumerable kotis of kalpas, they are unable to transcend the cycle by themselves. Having observed them carefully in this way, and wishing to rescue them, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas feel sympathy and exude great loving-kindness and compassion. Moreover, they deeply penetrate all dharmas. With such a dharma appearance, such a dharma is arising. With such a dharma appearance, such a dharma is staying. With such a Dharma appearance, such a Dharma is changing. With such a Dharma appearance, such a Dharma is perishing. Such a Dharma appearance can produce evil Dharmas. Such a Dharma appearance can produce good Dharmas. In the same way, each Dharma stays, changes, and perishes. Having fully observed and understood the ins and outs of the four appearances of every Sanskrita Dharma, Bodhisattvas next observe intensely that all dharmas arise and perish instantly as thoughts, one after another, never stay. They also observe the instantaneous birth, stay, change, and death of all dharmas. Having made these observations, bodhisattvas then penetrate the capacities, natures, and desires of sentient beings. Because their capacities, natures, and desires are immeasurable, bodhisattvas pronounce immeasurable dharmas. As the dharmas pronounced are immeasurable, their meanings are also immeasurable. The immeasurable meanings are born from one dharma. This one dharma is no appearance, which is not apart from appearance. The truth that appearance and no appearance are not apart from each other is called true reality. As Bodhisattva Mahasattvas abide in this true reality, the loving kindness and compassion they exude are genuine, not false. They can truly end sentient beings' suffering. Having rescued them from suffering, Bodhisattvas pronounce the Dharma to them, enabling them to experience happiness. Good men, if bodhisattvas can train in this one Dharma door of immeasurable meaning, they will quickly attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Good men, this profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning is true in its principle and supreme in its dignity. It is protected by all Buddhists of the past, present, and future. No Maras or non-Buddhists can enter it, nor can it be corrupted by the wrong views that perpetuate birth and death. Therefore, good men, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas who wish to attain the unsurpassed Bodhi should study and learn this profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning. Great Magnificence Bodhisattva next said to the Buddha, World-honored one, the Dharma pronounced by you is inconceivable. The capacities of sentient beings are also inconceivable, and the explanations of the Dharma doors are inconceivable as well. We no longer have doubts about the Dharma pronounced by the Buddha. However, I need to restate my question because sentient beings have bewildered minds. World-honored one, since the Tathagata's attainment of Bodhi for over 40 years, you have often expounded to sentient beings that the meaning of the four appearances of every Dharma is impermanence, pain, emptiness, and no self. With neither birth nor death, Dharmas are neither large nor small, but in the one appearance of no appearance. Dharma nature and Dharma appearance have always been empty, neither coming nor going, neither appearing nor disappearing. Of those who have heard these teachings, some have completed one of the 4 preparatory trainings, warmth, pinnacle, endurance, and foremost in the world. Some have become Shotapanas, Sakradagamis, Anagamis, or Arhats. Some have activated the body-mind and ascended to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or even the 10th ground. What is the difference in the meaning between the Dharma you have pronounced in the past and what you have stated today that prompted you to say that bodhisattvas who train according to this profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning will attain the unsurpassed Bodhi quickly? What is the reason? I pray only that the World-Honored One, out of his loving kindness and compassion for all, will widely explain it to sentient beings, enabling present and future hearers of the Dharma not to have a web of doubts remaining. Then the Buddha told Great Magnificence Bodhisattva, very good, men of great goodness, you are able to ask the Tathagata about such a subtle meaning of this profound, unexcelled Mahayana. We know that you are able to bring a great many benefits to gods and humans and to rescue suffering sentient beings, giving them all peace and joy. Your great loving kindness and compassion are true, not false. Because of these causes and conditions, you will definitely attain the unsurpassed Bodhi quickly. You will also enable sentient beings in the 3 realms of existence to attain the unsurpassed Bodhi in their present or future lives. Good men, after sitting properly for 6 years under the Bodhi tree in my Bodhi Manda, I attained Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. I then observed all dharmas with my Buddha eye and decided that some dharmas should not yet be pronounced. Why? Because the natures and desires of sentient beings are varied. Because their natures and desires are varied, my teachings have also been varied. Pronouncing various dharmas with the power of skillful means for over 40 years, I did not reveal the definitive meaning. As a result, there are differences in the Bodhi attained by sentient beings, and they are unable to attain the unsurpassed Bodhi quickly. Good men, the Dharma is like water, which can wash off filth and dirt. Whether water comes from a well, a lake, a stream, a river, a brook, a canal, or an immense ocean, it all can wash off different kinds of dirt. Likewise, the Dharma water can cleanse sentient beings' filthy afflictions. Good men, the nature of water is the same, but a stream, a river, a well, a pool, a canal, and an immense ocean are different from one another. Likewise, the nature of the Dharma is the same, and there is no difference in its washing away of filthy afflictions. However, the 3 dharmas, the 4 voice-hearer fruits, and the 2 paths are not the same. Good men, although water from any source washes off dirt just the same, a well is not a pool. A pool is neither a stream nor a river, and a brook or a canal is not an immense ocean. The Dharma pronounced by the Tathagata, the hero in the world, who has command of all dharmas, is like water. Although what is taught at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, all can cleanse sentient beings' afflictions. The beginning is not the middle, nor is the middle the end. The teachings given at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end use the same words, but their meanings are different. Good men, after I rose from under the Bodhi tree, the king of trees, I went to Deer Park in Varanasi and turned the Dharma wheel of the Four Noble Truths for the 5 people, including Ajnata Kundanya. I pronounce that dharmas have always been empty, changing non-stop, as thoughts arise and perish, thought after thought. During the middle period of my teachings, I expounded everywhere to bhikshus and bodhisattvas the 12 links of dependent arising and the 6 paramitas. I also pronounced that dharmas have always been empty, changing non-stop, as thoughts arise and perish, thought after thought. As I now expound this Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning, I again pronounce that dharmas have always been empty, changing non-stop, as thoughts arise and perish, thought after thought. Therefore, good men, the teachings at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end use the same words, but with different meanings, because the meanings are different. Sentient beings' understandings are different. Because their understandings are different, the Dharma, the fruit, and Bodhi they acquire are also different. Good men, at the beginning, as I pronounced the Four Noble Truths to those who wanted to be voice hearers, 8 Koti gods who descended from the heavens to hear the Dharma activated the Bodhi mind. In the middle period of my teaching, as I pronounced everywhere the profound 12 links of dependent arising to those who wanted to become Pachika Buddhas, innumerable sentient beings activated the Bodhi mind, while others remain as voice hearers. I next pronounce sutras in the 12 categories, including the Vaipulya Sutras and the Mahaprajna Sutras, like a splendid ocean of clouds. And I expounded how bodhisattvas would train themselves for kalpas. However, of the hundreds of thousands of bhikshus and tens of thousands of kotis of humans and gods, a countless number became Shotapanas, Sakradagamis, Anagamis, or Arhats, abiding in the Dharma of dependent arising, realized by Pachika Buddhas. Good men, for this reason, know that although the words are the same, their meanings are different. Because the meanings are different, the understandings of sentient beings are different. As their understandings differ, the Dharma, fruit, and Bodhi they achieve also differ. Good men, after attaining the great Bodhi, from the time I started pronouncing the Dharma to this day on, which I expound the Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning, I have never stopped explaining suffering, emptiness, impermanence, and no self. Nor have I stopped explaining that dharmas, neither real nor unreal, neither large nor small, have never been born, nor do they die. The one appearance of all dharmas is no appearance, as dharma appearance and dharma nature are neither coming nor going. However, sentient beings continue to be driven by the 4 appearances they perceive in dharmas. Good men, this means that Buddhas who never speak contradictory words can respond with one tone universally to all sounds. They each can use one body to manifest as many copies of that body as a sense of immeasurable, uncountable billions of kotis of nayutas of Ganges rivers. Each copy can, in turn, manifest as many kinds of forms as a sense of asankeyas, billions of kotis of nayutas of Ganges rivers. Each form can further manifest as many shapes as a sense of asankheya, billions of kotis of nayutas of Ganges rivers. Good men, the inconceivable profound state of Buddhas is unknowable to riders of the two vehicles and beyond bodhisattvas on the 10th ground. It is understood only by Buddhas. Therefore, good men, I pronounce this wondrous, profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning, which is true in its principle and supreme in its dignity. It is protected by all Buddhists of the past, present, and future. No Maras or non-Buddhists can enter it, nor can it be corrupted by the wrong views that perpetuate birth and death. If bodhisattvas, mahasattvas wish to attain the unsurpassed bodhi quickly, they should study and learn this profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning. After the Buddha had finished these words, this 3,000 large thousandfold world quaked in 6 different ways. The sky spontaneously rained down various kinds of celestial flowers such as Utpala, Padma, Kumuda, and Pundarika. As an offering to the Buddha and the huge multitude of bodhisattvas and voice hearers, innumerable kinds of celestial incense, garments, necklaces, and priceless jewels fell spiraling down from the sky. Celestial serving dishes and bowls were filled with delicacies of 100 celestial flavors. Placed everywhere were celestial banners, flags, canopies, and musical instruments, as celestial music and songs were performed to praise the Buddha. The world again quaked in 6 different ways. In the East, in Buddha lands as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, the skies also rained down celestial flowers, incense, garments, necklaces, and priceless jewels. Their celestial serving dishes and bowls, too, were filled with delicacies of 100 celestial flavors. Also placed everywhere were celestial banners, flags, canopies, and musical instruments. Celestial music and songs were performed as well, praising their Buddhas and their huge multitude of bodhisattvas and voice hearers. Just the same were worlds in the south, west, and north, as well as in the 4 in-between directions and toward the zenith and nadir. Then in the multitude, 32,000 bodhisattva mahasattvas attained the samadhi of immeasurable meaning, and 24,000 bodhisattva mahasattvas acquired innumerable, immeasurable dharani doors and were enabled to turn the no-regrets dharma wheel of Buddhists of the past, present, and future. The bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, upasikas, gods, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, and mahoragas, as well as great wheel-turning kings and lesser wheel-turning kings, such as silver wheel kings and iron wheel kings, as well as kings, princes, state ministers, citizens, men, women, and elders, together with their retinues in the hundreds of thousands, having heard the Buddha pronounce this sutra. All received benefits. Some achieved one of the 4 preparatory trainings: form, pinnacle, endurance, and foremost in the world. Some achieved the voice-hearer fruits, becoming Shotapannas, Sakradagamis, Anagamis, or Arhats. Some became Pachika Buddhas. Some attained the Bodhisattva endurance in the realization of the no birth of dharmas. Some acquired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or even 10 dharanis. Some acquired 1,000,000,000 koti dharanis. Some acquired as many dharanis as a sense of innumerable, countless asankheyas of Ganges rivers. All were enabled to turn the no regress Dharma wheel. Innumerable sentient beings activated the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi mind. Chapter 3. The 10 Virtues. Great Magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattva next said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, you have pronounced this wondrous, profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning. Truly, it is very profound, very profound, very profound. Why? Because in this multitude of Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, your 4 groups of disciples, gods, dragons, spirits, kings, state ministers, citizens, and sentient beings, having heard this profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning, no one has failed to acquire the Dharani doors, the 3 Dharmas, the 4 voice-hearer fruits, or the Bodhi mind. Know that this sutra is true in its principle and supreme in its dignity. It is protected by all Buddhists of the past, present, and future. No Maras or non-Buddhists can enter it, nor can it be corrupted by the wrong views that perpetuate birth and death. Why not? Because by hearing it only once, one is enabled to uphold all dharmas. If there are sentient beings that have heard this sutra, it is to their great benefit. Why? Because if they train accordingly, they will attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly. If there are sentient beings that are unable to hear this sutra, know that it is a great loss to them. Even after passing immeasurable, limitless, inconceivable asankheyas of kalpas, they still will not attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Why not? Because not knowing the great way to Bodhi, they take perilous paths which lead to many tribulations. Well-honored one, this sutra is inconceivable. I pray only that the well-honored one, out of loving kindness and sympathy, will broadly expound to this huge multitude the profound and inconceivable things about this sutra. Well-honored one, where does this sutra come from? Where does it go? And where does it stay to have such immeasurable virtue and inconceivable power, enabling sentient beings to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly? Then the world-honored one told Great Magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Very good, good men. Indeed, indeed, it is just as you say. Good men, I say that truly, this sutra is very profound, very profound, very profound. Why? Because it enables sentient beings to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly. Hearing it once enables them to uphold all dharmas. It brings great benefits to sentient beings, and it enables them to walk the great right path without tribulations. Good men, you ask where this sutra comes from, where it goes, and where it stays. Hearken well. Good men, this sutra comes from the abode of Buddhas, goes to sentient beings for them to activate the body-mind, and stays in the action range of bodhisattvas. Good men, this sutra comes in this way, goes in this way, and stays in this way. Indeed, this sutra has immeasurable virtue and inconceivable power, and can enable sentient beings to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly. Good men, would you like to hear the 10 inconceivable powers of the sutra's virtue? Great Magnificence Bodhisattva replied, I would be delighted to hear. The Buddha said, Good men, first, this sutra can enable bodhisattvas who have not activated the body-mind to activate the body-mind, enable those who have no loving-kindness to invoke the mind of loving-kindness, enable those who enjoy killing to awaken the mind of compassion, enable those who are jealous to open the mind of sympathetic joy, enable those who have love and attachment to cultivate the mind of equability, enable those who are miserly and greedy to unleash the mind of generosity, enable those who are arrogant to observe their precepts, enable those who are easily angered to endure their own displeasure, enable those who are negligent and indolent to strive for energetic progress, enable those who are disorderly to develop the meditative mind, enable those who are foolish to unfold the wisdom mind, enable those who are unable to deliver others to have the will to deliver others, enable those who do the 10 evil karmas to be motivated to do the 10 good karmas, enable those who delight in Sanskrita dharmas to realize the asanskrita mind, enable those with a regressive mind to invoke the mind that never regresses, enable those who discharge their afflictions to uncover the mind with no affliction to discharge, and enable those who have a great many afflictions to resolve to eradicate them. Good men, these are called the first inconceivable power of this sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the second inconceivable power of this sutra's virtue. If there are sentient beings that have acquired this sutra, whether in its entirety or just one stanza or one verse, they will be enabled to penetrate 100,000 koti meanings in the Dharma which, for innumerable kalpas, they have upheld but been unable to expound. Why? Because the Dharma in this sutra has immeasurable meaning. Good men, by analogy, a seed can produce hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of seeds. Each seed, in turn, can produce hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of seeds. The seeds successively produced in this way are innumerable. Likewise, this sutra expands. One dharma gives rise to hundreds and thousands of meanings. Each meaning, in turn, evokes hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of meanings. Expanding in this way, immeasurable, boundless meanings are revealed. Therefore, this sutra is called immeasurable meaning. Good men, these are called the second inconceivable power of this sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the third inconceivable power of this sutra's virtue. If there are sentient beings that have heard this sutra, whether in its entirety or just one stanza or one verse, they will be enabled to penetrate 1,000,000,000 koti meanings. Although they still have afflictions, they will carry on as if without afflictions. They will go through birth and death without thoughts of fear. They will have sympathy for sentient beings and courage to face all dharmas. As a strong man can carry heavy loads, so too can the upholders of this sutra shoulder the onerous undertaking for the unsurpassed Bodhi and carry sentient beings away from the journey of birth and death. Although they have not delivered themselves, they will be able to deliver others. As an analogy, a severely ill captain of the ship stays on this shore because of his physical disability, but he owns a sturdy ship equipped for transporting people, so he gives it to others to sail away. So too do the upholders of this sutra. Transmigrating through the 5 life paths with their bodies fattened by 108 grave diseases, they will continue their ignorance, grow old, and die on this shore of samsara. However, they have this sturdy Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning and can deliver others. Sentient beings that train according to its tenets will be delivered from the cycle of birth and death. Good men, these are called the third inconceivable power of the sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the fourth inconceivable power of the sutra's virtue. If there are sentient beings that have heard this sutra, whether in its entirety or just one stanza or one verse, they will acquire bravery. Although they have not delivered themselves, they will be enabled to deliver others and to have bodhisattvas as their spiritual family. Buddha Tathagatas will often expound the Dharma to them. After hearing it, they will be able to accept and uphold it accordingly, not countering it. They will in turn pronounce it widely to others where appropriate. Good men, they are like the youngest prince born to the king and queen, whether 1 or 2 or up to 7 days old, whether 1 or 2 or up to 7 months old, whether 1 or 2 or up to 7 years old. Although he is unable to administer the affairs of the state, he is already respected by his people. He is in the company of older princes and the king and queen with doting love. Regularly talk to him. Why? Because he is very young. Good men, fortunate as well are the upholders of this sutra. Buddhists are the king, and the sutra is the queen. Their union gives birth to bodhisattva sons. If these bodhisattvas have heard this sutra, whether only one verse or one stanza, whether once or twice, whether 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 times, or even as innumerable times as the sands of tens of thousands of kotis of Ganges rivers, although they are yet unable to realize the ultimate truth, nor can they turn the great Dharma wheel with the thundering Brahma tone to shake the 3,000 large thousandfold world, they are already respected by my 4 groups of disciples and the 8 classes of Dharma protectors, and have great bodhisattvas as their spiritual family. Penetrating deeply into the secret Dharma of Buddhists, they can expound it without contradictions or faults. Because they are beginning students, they are always protected and remembered by Buddhas and embraced in their loving kindness. Good men. These are called the 4th inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. Good men. Here is the 5th inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. If good men and good women during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana accept and uphold this profound, unsurpassed Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning and recite and copy it, they will be able to indicate the great Bodhi way, though they are still fettered by afflictions and unable to keep away from the matters of ordinary beings. They'll be able to lengthen 1 day to 100 kalpas and shorten 100 kalpas into 1 day, winning the appreciation and trust of sentient beings. Good men. These good men and good women are like a dragon son who, only 7 days old, already can stir up clouds and pour down rains. Good men. These are called the 5th inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. Good men. Here is the 6th inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. If good men and good women during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana accept and uphold this sutra and read and recite it, though still with afflictions, they will pronounce the Dharma to sentient beings, enabling them to stay far away from afflictions and samsara, and to end all suffering. Having heard it from them, sentient beings that train accordingly will acquire the Dharma, holy fruits, and Bodhi, just as if taught by Buddha Tathagatas without any difference. As an analogy, although the prince is still very young, if the king is traveling or ill, he appoints the prince to administer the affairs of the state. The prince, following the great king's order, promptly commands his retinues and 100 state ministers to proclaim the true Dharma. His kingdom and people will live in peace, just as if ruled by the great king, without any difference. The good men and good women who uphold this sutra can do the same. Whether during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana, although they have not ascended to the first bodhisattva ground called joy, they'll be able to expound the teachings by relying on the Buddha's spoken words. Having heard the teachings from them, sentient beings that train single-mindedly will be able to eradicate their afflictions and acquire their Dharma, holy fruits, and even Bodhi. Good men, these are called the sixth inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the seventh inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. If good men and good women during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana have heard this sutra with joy and faith, they appreciate its precious rarity. Moreover, they accept and uphold it, read and recite it, and copy and explain it. They train in accordance with the Dharma and activate the Bodhi mind, and they develop their roots of goodness and evoke the mind of great compassion, resolved to deliver all suffering sentient beings. Although they have not practiced the six paramitas will spontaneously be present before them. Then they will achieve in their present lives the endurance in the realization of the no birth of dharmas. They will eradicate at once the afflictions of birth and death and ascend to the seventh ground, each assuming the position of a great bodhisattva. By analogy, a strong man vanquishes the enemy for the king. With the enemy eliminated, the king, in his delight, bestows half of his kingdom upon him. Men and women who uphold this sutra can do the same. These spiritual trainees are truly courageous and vigorous. The six paramitas, the Dharma treasure, will come to them without their quest. The enemy, birth and death, will perish spontaneously, and they will achieve the endurance in the realization of the no birth of dharmas. They will be awarded the treasure, half of a Buddha land, to live in peace and bliss. Good men, these are called the seventh power of the Sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the eighth power of the Sutra's virtue. Suppose good men and good women during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana, having acquired this sutra, revered and believe it, regarding it as the Buddha's body without any difference, delighting in this sutra, they accept and uphold it, read and recite it, copy it, and respectfully train in accordance with the Dharma. They fortify the observance of precepts and their endurance as they practice almsgiving, exuding profound loving kindness and compassion. They widely pronounce to others this unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning. If the hearers initially do not believe that sin and merit exist, they will show the hearers this sutra and devise various skillful, persuasive ways to help them believe. By virtue of the awesome power of this sutra, the minds of non-believers will be turned around. Once their faith is kindled, they will courageously make energetic progress. Because of the power and virtue of this sutra, they will acquire the way and achieve holy fruits. Moreover, these good men and good women, because of their merit of transforming others, will, in their present lives, achieve the endurance in the realization of the no birth of dharmas and ascend to the next higher ground, eighth ground, and they will have bodhisattvas as their spiritual family. They will enable sentient beings quickly to come to spiritual achievement, and they will purify Buddha lands. Before long, they will attain the unsurpassed Bodhi. Good men, these are called the eighth inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the ninth inconceivable power of the Sutra's virtue. If good men and good women, during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana, have acquired this sutra, with joy and exuberance, they appreciate it as something that never existed before. If they accept and uphold it, read and recite it, copy it, make offerings to it, and explain its meaning to others, their past karmas, remaining sins, and severe hindrances will all be expunged at once. They will acquire purity and great eloquence, achieve the paramitas one after another, and attain samadhis. Through the Surangama Samadhi, they will enter the great door of total retention. Having gained the power of energetic progress, they will quickly ascend to the next higher ground, ninth ground. They will be adept in manifesting copies of their bodies everywhere in worlds in the 10 directions. They'll be able to rescue sentient beings in extreme suffering in the 25 forms of existence, enabling them to achieve liberation. Indeed, this sutra has such powers. Good men, these are called the ninth inconceivable power of the sutra's virtue. Good men, here is the 10th inconceivable power of the sutra's virtue. Suppose good men and good women, during the Buddha's life or after his parinirvana, having received this sutra, express great joy in appreciation of its precious rarity. They not only accept and uphold it, read and recite it, copy it, make offerings to it, and train accordingly, but also convince lay and monastic people to accept and uphold it, read and recite it, copy and explain it, make offerings to it, and train in accordance with the Dharma. Those people will acquire the way and achieve the holy fruit because of their training and the power of the sutra. Their achievement is credited to the mind of loving kindness and the power of persuasion of these good men and good women. For this reason, these good men and good women will, in their present lives, acquire innumerable dharani doors. Though still standing on the ground of ordinary beings, they will spontaneously be able to make innumerable asankheyas of great vows to rescue with great compassion all sentient beings in suffering. They will bulk up their roots of goodness as they benefit all. Like channeling water to parched land, they will expound the Dharma as if giving Dharma medicine to sentient beings, and they will give peace and joy to all. They will gradually ascend to the Dharma cloud ground, 10th ground. Hereupon, their charity will be universal and their loving kindness all-encompassing, drawing suffering sentient beings to the right path. Therefore, before long, these good men and good women will attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Good men, these are called the 10th inconceivable power of the sutra's virtue. Good men, this unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning has great awesome spiritual power, supreme in its dignity. It can enable ordinary beings to achieve the holy fruit, forever free from the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, this sutra is called immeasurable meaning. It can cause sentient beings on the ground of ordinary beings to germinate immeasurable bodhisattva bodhi sprouts. It can cause their trees of merit to flourish and expand. Hence, this sutra is called the inconceivable power of virtue. Then Great Magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas said to the Buddha with one voice, World-honored one, this wondrous, profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning pronounced by the Buddha is true in its principle and supreme in its dignity. It is protected by Buddhists of the past, present, and future. No Maras or non-Buddhists can enter it, nor can it be corrupted by the wrong views that perpetuate birth and death. Hence, this sutra has these 10 inconceivable powers of virtue to give immeasurable great benefits to all sentient beings. It can enable Bodhisattva Mahasattvas each to attain the samadhi of immeasurable meaning. Some will acquire 100,000 dharani doors. Some will achieve endurance on the Bodhisattva grounds. Some will become Pacceka Buddhas or achieve the four-voice hearers' fruits. World-honored one, out of loving kindness and sympathy, you have directly pronounced to us such teachings, giving us great Dharma benefits. This is so extraordinary, so unprecedented. The kindness and grace of the world-honored one are truly hard to requite. That having been said, the 3,000,000-fold world quaked in 6 different ways. The sky rained down various kinds of celestial flowers, such as Utpala, Padma, Kumuda, and Pundarika, as an offering to the Buddha and the huge multitude of bodhisattvas and voice hearers. Various kinds of celestial incense, garments, necklaces, and priceless jewels fell spiraling down from the sky. Celestial serving dishes and bowls were filled with delicacies of 100 celestial flavors, which gratified all with their colors and aromas. Placed everywhere were celestial banners, flags, and canopies, as well as wonderful musical instruments. As celestial music and songs were performed to praise the Buddha, the world again quaked in 6 different ways. In the East, in the Buddha lands as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, their skies also rained down celestial flowers, incense, garments, necklaces, and priceless jewels. Their celestial serving dishes and bowls too were filled with delicacies of 100 celestial flavors, which gratified all with their colors and aromas. Placed everywhere as well were celestial banners, flags, and canopies. Their wonderful celestial musical instruments also played celestial music, praising their Buddhas and their huge multitudes of bodhisattvas and voice hearers. Just the same were the worlds in the south, west, north, as well as in the 4 in-between directions and toward the zenith and nadir. Then the Buddha told Great Magnificence Bodhisattva Mahasattvas and the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, you all should invoke the reverent mind for this sutra and train in accordance with the Dharma. You should widely circulate this sutra and transform all people. Day and night, you should diligently protect this sutra and enabling sentient beings to receive Dharma benefits. You all truly have great loving kindness and great compassion. Use your transcendental powers and the power of your vows to protect this sutra. Do not allow it to be subject to doubts or blockages. Circulate it widely in Jambudvipa, far into the future, and enable all sentient beings to see and hear it, read and recite it, copy it, and make offerings to it. Because of your effort, you all will be able to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi quickly. Great magnificence Bodhisattva and the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas rose from their seats, came forward to the Buddha, and bowed their heads down at his feet. They circled the Buddha 100,000 times. Then they knelt on their right knees and said to the Buddha with one voice, "World-honored one, we are so fortunate that the world-honored one has bestowed his loving sympathy on us and has pronounced to us this wondrous, profound, unexcelled Mahayana Sutra of immeasurable meaning. We respectfully accept the Buddha's command. After the parinirvana of the Tathagata, we will widely circulate this sutra, enabling all to accept and uphold it, read and recite it, copy it, and make offerings to it. We pray only that the world-honored one will not be worried. We will use the power of our vows to enable all sentient beings to acquire the awesome spiritual power of this sutra." The Buddha praised, very, good man. You now are truly the sons of the Buddha and are able to rescue with great loving kindness and great compassion those who are in suffering and tribulations. As you widely give Dharma benefits to all, you are the good fortune field for all sentient beings, the competent guide for all sentient beings, the great refuge for all sentient beings, and the noble benefactor for all sentient beings. All in the huge assembly greatly rejoiced. They made obeisance to the Buddha, accepted and upheld the teachings, and departed.